So the question I have is about calorie cycling. So when, if ever, would you implement high days and low days? And maybe what do those mean for a little bit of context?
Okay, so for 95% of people, I wouldn't implement it. When I would choose like a high day, low day calorie split would be on two ends of the spectrum of like very low calories or very high calories. And why we would do that, so speaking in the sense of someone trying to get in a lot of calories, we can take advantage of training days and maybe a bigger appetite or intra-workout carbs just to get those extra calories in. And then on the other side of the spectrum, if someone is very low calories, then we can prioritize a little bit more calories on like heavy training days to ensure that they're getting good training sessions in, retaining lean muscle mass, and prioritizing recovery. For the majority of people, why we don't calorie cycle is because we need those calories on rest days for recovery and to make sure that you're fueled for the next session. So there's no point in bringing calories up, down, just better to stay consistent.
It might be harder with adherence too, right? If you have, multiple sets of macros, for most people, it's really challenging to plan those days, right?
Exactly. So what happens on a day where you're supposed to train, you have your training day breakfast and your lunch, and then plans change, you can't get to the gym, and then you're stuck with these training day calories, and it just...
Carb cycling approach is typically implemented more often in a caloric deficit. Why might that be?
So there's two main reasons that we would implement like a diet break refeed calorie cycle in a deficit. We have the physiological benefits and the psychological benefits. On the physiological side, we can see a decrease in ghrelin, your hungry hormone, an increase in leptin, which will make you more satisfied. An increase in carbs is going to increase your insulin sensitivity, can shuttle some of those extra calories, extra carbs into the muscle. And then we can also see a decrease in cortisol. Cortisol is going to build up a lot during a dieting phase.
Oh yeah.
So it's really important to implement some calorie cycling, introduce extra carbs to bring the cortisol down. On the psychological side, you got a break from dieting. So implementing that to give yourself a little bit of a break, mental relief, and bring down stress from the diet, you're going to go back into your diet a lot more ready to adhere to it.
Now, could implementing this sort of approach elongate the diet? Like, are these periods of calorie cycling, are you actually going up into a surplus, or are you staying in a deficit?
You're staying around maintenance, around your maintenance calories. So we're not going up into a surplus, just enough to bring down stress. It's not going to set you back on your diet. If anything, it is going to push you further.